You have your fear, which might become reality. And you have Godzilla, which is reality.
I'm sick of Godzilla.
Wake up, everyone!
There are two things you don't know about the Earth. One is me, and the other is Godzilla.
We're safe now. No human being can understand that. The monsters on Monster Island can understand it.
Whether he returns or not, or is never again seen by human eyes, the things he has taught us remain.
Hello, YHS on Monster Island listeners. Jay Key here, and if you're watching this, you notice something very weird. I'm not talking about Andy Peters. I am talking about there's no Tattooed Titan of Tokusatsu. Jacob Walsh is out in Chicago, VIPing it with Joe Bob Briggs. Yes, I saw the pictures. Yeah, I know, Andy. We can talk about that later. But he is out there, and you know what?
Joe Bob Briggs.
Yes. And just so you know, Andy, I'm actually based in Grapevine, Texas. So there's lots of connections here.
I won a contest from him back in the fucking day, and he read some of my shit on the air. But I have a thing with him. Anyway, Joe Bob.
We will save it. We can have a whole Joe Bob podcast. No joke. But anyway,
I want to be in on that.
But you know what? I decided that with the boss out there, we're going to do something a little bit different. And I was able to make a few phone calls and get what I am thinking might be the greatest Sofubi panel ever put together.
Ooh.
In this, the first and maybe only ever YHS on Monster Island, wild and wacky Sofubi Jamboree with the Kaiju All-Stars. And it is my honor, look at that, and happy holidays. It is my honor to be able to get these guys together because we start off, the first guy that signed on was the prolific professor of podcasting. He's your guy for Sentai, and he's my favorite person, hailing from a city named after a weather event, the prodigal son of Hurricane West Virginia, Mr. Michael Hamilton of Kaiju Weekly and the Kaiju Ramen magazine. And then, of course, I had to get a fellow Texan here. So I had to go up north a little bit to Denton's devoted Daikaiju dad and the dude that dubbed this Disco Goji, Mr. Ryan Wilhelm of Dallas Vintage Toys. Now, we needed a little class, so I had to go out Baltimore way to DMV, if you will, and I had to get that awe-inspiring Instagramming icon and the Queen Kaiju of kick-ass clothing. Of course, it's the great Lou Munster of Monster Lou's Clothing and everything else you could think of on Instagram. Amazing. And last, and probably least, we had to get Seattle's swinging and sludge slinging, smokestack seizing sovereign of 70 smog-centric cinema. He is the founder of the Hedera's Fanatics Club, the Kaiju Kit Builders Club, the Kaiju Diorama Club. He is a collecting god. Mr.
Wow.
Andy Peters and America, World, Universe. This is your panel. These are your Kaiju All-Stars. Welcome, All-Stars.
Yes.
Thank you.
Honored to be here. Honored. Thank you so much. Thank you.
my ego went from here to here.
My ego went from you can't see it because I'm spreading my arms too wide to slightly larger than that.
But in all
I can see
seriousness,
his, yes.
it is awesome to have you guys here. It really is. And
Thank you.
Since we've been doing YHS on Monster Island the last, almost year now, which is crazy, we've brought a lot of folks into the Kaiju world, and they see me every other week talk about Sofubi, one of my passions. And it is such an interesting and crazy and wacky and intricate world that I felt that they needed some experts from newer Sofubi collectors to collecting gods. And I thought that this would be a perfect time to just talk about why we invest so much time, so much love, and so much money into these wacky little soft vinyl figures. But before we get into that, I do want to go around the horn and you guys just tell everybody who you are, a little bit about yourselves. I will start with, how about Ryan Wilhelm?
Hey, thank you, Jay, so much for having us. Andy, Lou, Michael, it's a pleasure, truly.
Absolutely.
My name is Ryan Wilhelm. I work at Dallas Vintage Toys. If you guys collect vintage toys, you may have heard of it. It's a jumbo shop in Dallas, Texas. I collect a little bit of everything, but my primary love and desire is Japanese Sofubi stuff, Godzilla, all kinds of different kaiju related items. Yeah, I've got an awesome 2.5-year-old daughter. I'm 6 classes away from graduating with a journalism degree, finally. So that's pretty cool. That's me. And let's hear from Andy.
I'm Andy Peters. I'm an old bastard.
The greatest.
There's a whole bunch of crazy, expensive, colorful shit. I organize it better than you, and that's really, I got about it. You said it all already.
I figured.
That's true. Those introductions were dynamite.
Bon vivant.
Yes.
Lou.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lou. Been collecting for a while. Been collecting stuff since I was a kid. Really haven't gotten to the level, I guess maybe like being a kid and collecting stuff, and now you're like an adult and you're like, okay, I get this now. So, got income. I got a place for it. So I've collected a lot of crazy things. This is definitely the this takes the cake for sure. Yeah, this it's really strange how you can just buy a few of them and it just suddenly takes over your life. So not mad about it. It's great. I wonder when it's going to end sometimes. But yeah, I'm here in Baltimore. There's a couple collectors here, but not too many. There's I like being close to New York. There was a few shops up there and just kind of fun. Definitely more collectors up there. You've got like 5 Points. That's a good show for designer toys and Sofubi. So yeah, that's me. Just collecting stuff. Michael?
I bumped my mic. I'm Michael.
You're the podcasting guy.
Right? I know.
Writing a song.
I'm Michael. I have no clue why I'm here. I'm the newbie to Sofubi. I guess I guess that's why I'm here. I am a podcaster. I've been podcasting for over a year now on Kaiju Weekly. I'm also the co-creator of Kaiju Ramen Magazine. Shameless plug. And I'm also another podcast host of a show dedicated to Sentai and Power Rangers called The Power Trip. That's coming in January. I have been a collector for God knows how long, but I recently transitioned from the super detailed, highly screen accurate world to colorful and glittery.
We call that gray.
Gray.
Earl Grey.
Yeah. So I transitioned out of X Plus and Bandai and just started getting into Sofubi because it just seemed really interesting. And what Andy does really inspires me. So that's why.
Me too.
Thank you.
Look at that.
I work very hard.
That you do, man. The hardest working man in Sofubi. But so we do something every time on the YHS and Monster Island show where we will go around and Jake and I will talk about some of our recent pickups. And it does not have to be Sofubi related. It can be kaiju adjacent. But we just like to break the ice and get the juices flowing and talk about some of the wacky stuff that we got picked up. So if you have a few, recent pickups. Wait, we won't know. You could have got it 7 years ago. It's all good. We'll just pretend. But let's chat that. Let's do that. And before we get into our main topic, which is why we collect. So you know what? We will start off with the inspiring Andy Peters.
Oh, you mean the stuff, sort of newish stuff? Sure.
Yeah, newish stuff.
Well, I'm pretty proud of this one, even though it's quickly here. This is the Last Starfighter kit. It has Grig and Alex Rogan. It doesn't actually exist in real life. It's a Toy Weaver custom. And I've never bought anything like this kind of thing. But when I saw it, I went, come home to Papa, please. Hurry it up. And I had a friend named AAA who hooked me up. So big ups to AAA. I'll briefly show that I'm still quite proud of Nell, the boob ship that I had made by Steve Caragioli. It's from Battle Beyond the Stars. Those are nacelles. Okay, here's one that I think that's pretty interesting and germane to the conversation. I won the Freak Room 3rd anniversary Mithril Horn of the Ocean. See, now we're starting to get into this weird stuff. That's
yeah.
So what is this?
Whoa. Wow. That's pretty cool, man.
Yes, it's it's insane. It's blue glitter. There's pink glitter in the lips. The eye, of course. Yeah.
Nice
They're
articulation.
doing
there.
one now that they just lotteried off, where they do take this guy and made him look like Darth Maul.
Whoa.
with the same like beady burning eyes. It was a little butch for me, but hey. See, check it. There you go. Right. Let's see here. Well, this one I got from Miyako Custom in Japan. It's going to be hard to really get the detail on this thing. It's sort of well, they call them a Zora, which basically means oil slick. So it is a Hedora. And yeah, there's no way you can, if this was the sun. But believe me, it's fantastic. How about a cute little U.S. Toys? Tiny little King Joe with like, he's got all manner of tinsel inside. It's so great.
I feel U.S. Toys is like, it is so underrepresented and underrated. Like people just, I don't know if they're scared of the size and sometimes
you
the price
know
tag.
How much they cost?
Yeah, and yeah, but they're I mean they're great. They're great pieces, especially the building box series is so wonderful.
I agree, but Jesus Christ. I mean, they did do a giant one, but I'm like, how much is that? $5,000 and you throw a leg and here's a DNA sample so you can clone me? Anyway.
Yeah, there's two.
People who collect U.S. toys and keep them out of the box, I'm like, you are nuts. They're tiny and beautiful. Anyway, I don't have it here, but here's the box. I bought the Mondo Mothra.
Nice.
It is so choice, and it is realistic, so not so Sofubi. And finally, the best thing I got this month was actually about a month and a half ago, was a Grail. Right? Terminology, folks.
Ooh.
An item in which, they already know that for every collector has, right?
Well, and remember, our channel does host Toy Anxiety, one of the top toy collecting shows. So we know our grails very well, and sometimes overuse the term, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah,
I have like 5 I've ever had. So these are real, baby, real.
Whoa!
This is the original run, back in the day. Gigabrain King Ghidorah. This glows in the dark. Oh, hello. I wish I was an Oscar my wiener. You know what I'm talking?
Beautiful, beautiful.
That's gorgeous, man.
I mean, when I saw it, I was like, you know, it's been something I've been badgering anyone who owns it. It's so sad. You know when you're sad when you're like, so if you ever want to get rid of that thing,
yeah, let me know.
Just let me know.
Yeah.
And Andy, how many of those exist?
Oh, the Gigabrains are hard to track down. I wouldn't imagine there's more than 30 of these, but somebody knows more than I do. I just know that seeing them anywhere, especially in this condition, big ups to Dan Miller, is unheard of. I mean, the man must have put them in diapers, for God's sakes. I mean, it's aged not a day. But that, I mean, when you're a collector, we all know it. When you open something up, and I collect mold, spores, and fungus. Fucked it up. I'm gonna drop Ghostbusters lines for the bread and butter people around here.
I love it.
Aim for the flat top. Okay, so when it opened up, I was like, it's this moment where you're kind of buying stupid stuff that costs a lot of money, and you feel like there's a grail. Oh, I'll spend what it costs, and then you do open it, and you still go, oh, that's what it's about.
Yep,
that's it.
Amen.
Those goosebumps you get, yeah.
That's all I got.
How about you, Lou?
Well, I've seen both of you, or two of you, hold this guy up because I think a lot of people are really excited about this one.
If I collected Godzilla.
Yeah, this is it's just this Biogoji from Marathon.
Awesome.
It's beautiful. I mean, I could just look at it forever.
Glitter, yeah.
Really nice glitter. It's like a hologram glitter. Really, really excited about this piece. I kind of want to just like wear it as a necklace or like make a ring out of it and just have it like that.
Just chill.
Have it pull your earlobe way down.
Yeah. So it's gorgeous. Especially I have some like kind of nice light down here, so really liking that one. There's I got a new Headlock Studios Sofubi piece. This is Bride and Frankie.
That's awesome.
Yeah, super cute. Really great designs on Headlock. Very fun, kind of like old cartoon pie eye style. It's got some mummy legs. I don't know. That's like cool, fun detail. I didn't know it was going to be on here.
Under the dress?
What's up?
The legs are like a hidden detail.
Yeah, and they're like mummy, like her arms. They're cute. So
necessarily elaborate.
I'm excited about that one. You did talk about US Toys, so I do want to grab one out of here. I didn't know I was going to grab.
They display so well, these things, you guys. They're little figures, okay, made by US Toys. It's a tiny little company, you know.
Yeah. So you're talking about big ones. Like I am obsessed with the big ones. They are gorgeous. They actually have these like googly eyes, but something about US Toys paint is just so nice. You know, like it's amazing.
Meticulous.
They are pricey, but so I did get this one not too long ago. So it's new to the room here, and there's a glow version also. They did a bunch of colors in these. There is like a silver one that, you know, I've been trying to find. Never seen it available anywhere ever.
I see it.
So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that one. Those two, and I just real quick wanted to show just something a little different. I've wanted this for years, and for some reason never pulled the trigger. The Sean Lincolnback Japanese Monsters poster book.
Ooh.
This is like amazing. It's so well done. I've messaged him a few times like, man, this like you've really done something here. It's just gorgeous. It's got everything. It covers every poster. I mean, for the most part, really great photos, descriptions, sizes, everything, lobby cards. If you're a fan of this stuff, try to find one. I think he put this out in 2014. I just got it. It's beautiful. Highly, highly recommended if you are. I mean, obviously, we all love this stuff because the photos or the pictures of it is just so great. So even if you're not trying to get into collecting posters, get this book. It's really great. So that's what I got. Right. Let's see. Ryan, you got some stuff?
Always way too much stuff, man. I mean, I
work in a toy store.
Yeah,
I mean, he always has stuff.
I work at a toy store, so I'm always getting toys. My daughter refers to me as a toy man. She's 2.5, so it's crazy. I too got the Mondo Mothra. I don't know if you can see it. It's back that way.
Yes, I can see it.
It's hanging out over there. I moved my Detofs like into my closet space because I have so much stuff. I'm trying to make more space.
Wait, closet space?
Yeah, man. So I have 2 Detofs back here. Took out all the closet, ripped off the doors. That's like Sofubi town now. So you know, it's pretty cool.
Doors are irrelevant.
I thought so, right? So my figure of the year, guys, we're kind of dipping our toes into that talk right now, seeing as how it's the end of December and everything. Right. We're talking Disco Goji is what I've dubbed it. I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing about that, but
it's so pretty.
I mean, this is the Maro-san 89. You know about it, you love it, we love it. I got this from Toku Toy Town, of course. If you're not familiar, you need to be. They ship super fast. Jay is the man. Get your Sofubi from him, people. I mean, come on. This is not a shameless plug. Clearly, I have done it, so I highly recommend it.
Honey!
I mean, do it right now. TokuToyTown.com. Buy some Godzilla stuff, man.
And might I add that Maro-san does the best glitter.
Hands down.
Anyone since the golden age of Marmot.
Yes. I mean, I can just sit and look at this, and instantly it's like Disco Fever, or whatever song it is that's in your head. So, not only is this my toy of the year, but it outshines literally everything else that I've acquired. So it kind of doesn't matter. But I did, however, get this really cool. We were talking about Grails earlier. I'm a huge Ultraman fan. David Dobko and I talk about Ultraman all the time. Shout out to him. And I got the Maro-san, the Science Tower. So This is pretty sweet. Shout out to Chris Eaton. Shout out to Kyle for helping me acquire this.
Oh, jealousy.
This is like one of the coolest pieces I have in my entire collection. So,
and you people at home, soon you'll look at that thing and go, "Oh!"
Yeah, you're gonna be like, right now, you know, it's not that impressive. It's not even like a kaiju or anything. But guys,
what is that bathtub toy?
Treat yourself to some Ultraman 1966 goodness. Baptize yourself all in it. Talking about bathtubs.
$12.99, I'm assuming, correct?
Hey everyone, Jay here. Sorry to interrupt the discussion, but sometimes life gets in the way, and unfortunately, I had a little home issue I had to deal with, and I had to step away from the podcast for the rest of the show. But you know what? We kept the cameras rolling because when you've assembled 4 of the best Sofubi minds in the world, they probably have a few things to talk about, and they don't need me in the way, just asking them dumb questions. So this is a real kind of intimate look at these 4 awesome collectors just chatting and discussing why they love Sofubi. You know, I'm bummed. I really am bummed that I wasn't able to be part of the conversation, but you know what? I'm sure we'll get them back again soon. And so enjoy. This is the last time you have to hear my voice on this podcast. And yeah, let's see what the Sofubi Kaiju All-Stars have to say.
This is, I mean, hey guys, not much beats this, if we're being honest.
No,
in my opinion.
That's amazing.
So it's pretty sweet.
That was definitely one I was like.
So I had a couple in line, right? Some friends contacted me, and I was at work, so I was panically like saying, "Yes, I'm interested. Help me, help me." Sorry, man, sold out. Sorry, man, I got it for someone else. Sorry, man, you're SOL. And I was like, no,
it's worse like that though.
No, so
you have to strike like a cobra.
Guys, the key though is to network, know people, post what you're looking for in these groups that we all have.
Wheels.
And then all of a sudden, bada bing, bada boom, I have 2 friends that are like, want one? Let's dance. And so, friends, I'm doing the thing, right?
Sweet money you've got.
Hey, baby, you know what I mean? So it's awesome. I highly recommend that piece. Let's see.
Yeah, that was actually really exciting that they put that out in a different color too, because that is so
I never thought it would ever come back.
Nor did I.
Yeah.
I've looked for years. That's another thing. You can't get deterred in this game. If you're after something, you gotta keep pushing it.
You have to be after something. It's important to me that you're after something in specific, because when you people get into this, they can sometimes shotgun by everything. Ooh, and then the next thing you know, they've got a bunch of shit they don't care about and go back to gray.
It's not for me, but you're not doing it right. Yeah, you got to wait. Sometimes, I mean, you won't pick up a piece for a while. Sometimes you'll pick up 15 in a month. It's crazy how it happens, you know, but these things do happen quite often. So, Michael, what do you have, bro?
I wouldn't be the Sentai guy without showing a couple of Sentai pieces that I got in the mail. This is the vintage 1990s
Saba.
Saba. The name of his Sentai name escapes it. Byaku. Byaku. There we go.
There you go.
This is
Very
I got this off a private collector. Didn't pay an arm and a leg for it. I remember my old one as a child being broken, and I saw this and I had to have it.
That's so
because
cool.
this is my childhood right here. So
imagine it lights up and makes crazy swinging noises.
It does. It lights up. It makes crazy swinging noises, and it talks to me in Japanese that I can't understand, but it's still fun.
That's awesome.
Call yourself a fan.
And lately,
good morning. You know.
Lately, I've been getting more and more into model kits, and so I did pick up the Shokugan model project, this Gal King kit the other day. I'm gonna probably sit down this weekend or maybe after Christmas.
Is that a snap together? Or?
No, it's it's pegs. It kind of snapped together.
Right.
Pegs and glue. If you're like me and you break shit, so. You know.
Shout out to Gordon Flynn if you need him.
I
to
broke
paint
an
up
X
anything.
Plus today. In fact.
Oh,
City.
Yeah. So
it happens.
Piece down.
Yeah, it totally happens.
They're like these little. I have one here from Kaku Ranger. They're like these little 7-inch figures, and you just put them together yourself. They're a lot of fun. Thankful. I have a ton of these little things on the shelf. And go ahead, Andy.
Which one's the disco show? That's the one I like. Fever something.
Battle Fever J.
That's the one.
Yeah, Battle Fever J. I like Bioman too, but I'm still yet to find a Bioman Super Mini Claw. That's what I want. But they're expensive and they're kind of hard to
gotta
find.
have things you're after.
Exactly.
It's the key, guys. It's the key.
Speaking of boring old gray, I did get the Sakai maquette in the mail the other day. I got this from Jason Welling at Awesome
Very
Collector.
Cool dude.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very good resource too.
Absolutely. I was not fortunate enough to get the purple spine version like a lot of people I've seen, but I'm happy to have this because I'm a huge Mirai Goji stan. So having this was really fun for me. Probably like I'm one of those guys that was like, I have to have the most screen accurate sculpt ever.
Right.
When I first started collecting.
Yeah.
And as time has went on, I've actually sold a lot of that stuff because I'm bored with it. So I'm transitioning out of X Plus and all gray to Sofubi because it's a lot more fun to me. So that's why I'm here. I'm the new guy.
I started gray, so
yeah. I mean, we all do.
I'm gray
I love
now.
this term you guys are using. I've never heard anybody say this, but gray is hilarious to me because
Earl Grey. Yeah.
I invented that shit.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's not that it's negative. There's nothing wrong with gray.
There's not.
But when you see shelf after shelf, you've bought every single permutation of Godzilla, and you put them all next to them, and that's fine. Again, that's fine. But sometimes you look at them, and I feel like that has to be a mildly, like, weighty, you know, crushing you down. I mean, I did it myself. I have some X Plus. I mean, I'll show later. But yeah.
I mean, I've been collecting a lot of smalls too, because just because shipping is expensive now and things just are getting more and more expensive. I've been picking up a lot of small things. I got the last release of the Bandai stuff, like the Gorosaurus and the Hedera and all that. And these little, and I love these. Like, I know, like, these little Sakai.
Those are cool, man.
Those little Sakai dioramas. I love these things.
I actually want a couple of those for my desk. That's cool.
Yeah. I'm after all of them. Like, my goal is to have all of them because I
saw a whole set being sold a few months back.
I thought I did as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the whole works.
Yeah.
Our friend AJ at Kaiju Live has them for sale every now and then. It's where I've gotten most of mine from.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, that's too cool, man. Okay, guys. So I think Jay wanted me to take the reins for a second and pop this question to everybody. Let's see how this goes.
Feel the screen, man.
Feel free to talk as long as you want about this one. Okay, be as detailed as you want. But we're gonna go around how you started collecting and what inspires you to keep going, given the price tags and everything going crazy with shipping delays. Price increases, you know, more collectors coming in, things becoming more difficult to obtain, the whole nine. So if anyone wants to volunteer to go first.
Ladies first. Lou, go first.
Okay, Lou, if you don't mind.
Well, my story is kind of funny. I guess I'll start with this. I've never actually showed this to anybody, but I was at, I'll make this quick. I was at a friend's house, and this is early 2000s. His brother was there, or him and his little brother had still lived at the house. It was their parents' house. So we're in the basement, and there's this box of toys and just like junk stuff. And this is just sticking out of it. And, you know, I'm just like there with my friends, and we're talking, and I cannot stop looking at this thing. And I finally go up and I pick it up, and I'm like, this is just, why isn't anybody else affected by this?
Right.
This is weird.
That one time.
And it feels great, and I'm holding it. It's just a weird thing. And so I put it back in the box, and throughout the rest of the time I was there, my friend said, just take it. It's fine. My little brother doesn't want Power Rangers toy.
Spinster.
Oh, yeah, I love these things. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I grew up with those too, man.
Well, I am sorry about this, but I didn't know what it was for years. I just knew.
Right. It didn't matter what it was.
Yeah, it didn't.
Right. It was, why does this exist?
Yeah, that must have been like 2002 or something. So I had not gotten into collecting for years. So let's say at the same time, 2002, there's a wonderful lady named Linda Conrad who starts collecting, and she's building.
She has one of the best collections ever, you guys.
And then she runs a store called Chibi Goji Toys. So over these years, she's been collecting everything and anything that is just beautiful, kaiju related, designer toy, everything.
Pretty.
So I get exposed to her collection around 2013 or 12, I think, maybe 2012. And I remember asking her if she was like pumping oxygen in her collector's room, because I was just like, like it felt good. I could like breathe well. Like it sounds crazy, but it was like I'd never been that starstruck by things. It
was Linda's. It was Linda's shit, right?
Yeah, Linda's collection.
That's cool. That's fabulous. It's one of the things that did it to me too.
Yeah, so
Linda.
I just got exposed to like the best collection right immediately, and
you did. You did.
Yeah, it kind of messed me up, but I mean, it took me a long time to really start to learn. But it's funny how you just start to accumulate any and everything of that topic. You just really like, you know, all kaiju stuff, all Sofubi, whatever. And then you start to realize, well, okay, now I just want to do this, or now I just want this line, or now I only want glitter stuff or glow or whatever. So it takes a really long time, you know, to kind of start, because it's like you're dealing with your like inner obsession too, because it is this thing that you just gravitate to these strange objects.
It's an itch in the brain. That's all.
Yeah.
So, but people, if you're seeing this and you're looking at this shit and going, it's the itch in your brain, you probably want it.
It's your inner child too, because I think we all have that inner child that this is dying to get out, and that's why we collect the things we collect. That's why we love the things that's why we love the things, and we surround ourselves with the things we love like this.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many different things. Like I love, you know, vintage 60s fashion and music and stuff. And then there's like, you know, there's a little cute 60s looking little girl playing a record, or like a Sun God's like girl. So there's just, it's endless. Or there's like a monster face. That's just, you know.
It's the people who can get into shotgun like you do, which is like, I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that.
It's like really a wonderful medium that can just go over so many different genres of stuff.
It's pop art. It's folk art. It's art.
Yeah.
Point blank.
So anyway, yeah, she messed me up for life, but
in the best way.
See, you know, Linda fans, you see, she kind of has her shit sort of Lindaed out there back there, where it's all Linda does this stack sort of look, but it's all backlit in certain cases. But sometimes it's just weird pieces of furniture that she just all the pieces into. I love it.
Yeah,
Linda Conrad. Boop boop.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it definitely takes a while to kind of get things to how you want them to look. Honestly, like my favorite part is the hunt. It's exciting because if you know what you want, like I don't really get a lot of the Mondo stuff. I do, it's great, but I feel like there's so much more M1s and everything that I've already been through a phase of certain things that I'm like, no, there's still this like I don't know. I can't think of something right now, but there's just so much out there that
I mean, look, I mean, if you look behind me, this is a wall, literally a wall of Maru-san B-type figures.
Yeah.
Just and now it goes all the way to the floor. And so, you know, now people go, ooh, did you see that new Maru-san? I don't need it. What? I don't need it.
Yeah.
So,
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Yeah. I don't know. There, like I said, I've got like an Ultraman case, a Godzilla case, and then designer toy stuff. And you have to get to a point where, like, if you don't have room for it or a nice way to display it, then how much do you really need it? So what I was getting at, like the hunt is great. You get the thing, and then, you know, where do you want to put it? That is very challenging. This was extremely challenging for me to set up and figure out how you want to display. Andy's got it down perfectly. Like that room is it's really great. I mean, you've got everything where it's going to be for a really long time. There's still a few bins, 6 bins of stuff that I don't have in here yet that you need to kind of like, you know, go through, see what you want to keep. I did say for a while that I would never sell anything. That's another like step up in your collector's thing where you're like, okay, I can let this go, or you know, trade this or whatever. So there's so many stages, and for me it's just fun to be in them and then also realize what's happened. Like that's really fun and eye-opening. You're like, whoa, what have I done? I'm surrounded by all this stuff. And then you're like, you know,
it's crazy to see how fast it can happen. You know,
yeah,
it's like 5 and 10 years have gone by like that. And it's like, whoa, my collection is entirely different, but now it's so much cooler, you know? So yeah. What's up, Andy?
For me, it is literally putting this together. The hunt is great.
Yeah.
I love it. But I have this thing in my brain and I have to itch it. And so if it means there has to be a lineup of all of these Bullmark figures to do it, then I guess that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. So for me, it's like, if you could see the floor, it doesn't look like this. It's all tape and glitter tape and blow tape.
Having a room in your living area for just one thing is insane. Like,
right.
Not like, unless it's like food, or it's not easy for people to have that. So setting up, I mean, like I bought my house a few years ago, and like that was one of my goals. And sometimes like, did I buy a house for these things, like, or myself, you know? So it just
both.
Yeah. It is nice to be able.
I'm in that camp. Yeah, both.
Yeah, to have the room, like your closet space, like that's
exactly.
Great idea. Like just do that and make things look good. And
yeah, I just need to get lights now because it looks not so cool. But look at that.
Yeah. Pro tip: what you try to think, if you've got a whole space and you know you're probably going to try to fill it, don't piecemeal the lights. Do it all at once. I've got some in here that have been like strips that are so dying. It's like 9 years old and they're all wired together. In fact, you guys want to see something pretty cool?
Sure.
Yes, we do.
Oh shit!
Clap on. Clap off.
What's happening?
That's awesome. And click on.
A quarter of these turn off when I do a clapper.
Yes.
That's so
That's
fun.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's
including my. Unfortunately, it's now, like I say, plan ahead, because all of this is wired behind this huge thing. I ain't moving it. So unfortunately, I also wired the clapper to my turntable. So if anything goes boom, boom, the whole thing turns.
That's awesome, though, man.
Yeah. So it's really all about that. It's all, for me, it's about doing shit like this.
Okay, now we just have to ask now, Andy, let's talk about how you started assembling that room.
Yeah.
I mean, like for the common person who's never met you, never seen your collection, how do you do that? Because that, my friend, is...
Oh, look, it's moving automatically. I'm not...
Yeah, I mean, that's... He's still there.
No, what happened was with this, I mean, we can get into why I do this at all, but this in specific was my dad knew that I liked the movie Hedera because I'm a sort of an ecology warrior type. You know, I don't like what we's doing to the earth, and boy, it should teach us a lesson. Oh, wait, it is? Oh, okay, great. So, so he sent me, he got an Entertainment Earth catalog, like back in the early 2000s, like something, whenever the very first adult form Hedera came out. He bought it and sent it to me. And I'm like, oh, dear God, Dad, how much did this cost? It was 30, the big guy, you know, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. What am I going to do with this shit? That's so thoughtful. And then the next thing you know, I traded it to get something smaller, and it was a Shima King Ghidorah. And then I went, well, you know what I really need? That big Hedera back.
Of course.
So I immediately bought it back from someone, and then it was like, these things are large and overly elaborate, and they look just like the movie. So let me get another one and another one. Wait, they're doing a King Ghidorah? And that was really it. It was the fact that X Plus, right as I was sliding into, I don't know if I should do this, they did the King Ghidorah, the one with the broken necks, the famous busted necks one. Yeah. Mine came perfect, and I just went, and now I can see clearly. I need as many of these gray and items as I possibly can obtain.
I love the gray.
Yeah, I think you can see it. Hold on. So there's a whole diorama over there of my X Plus. If you could see Gamera there at the end. Yeah, so that's what happened. I was like, I really love Tokusatsu for one reason and one reason alone. They build it. Building small buildings. They've made them. Someone has made them. There's some real made item. Sure, there's a dude in the suit, but made item destroying these elaborate made items. And so for me, that was the intro. It was like, well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to need to make, you know, a diorama type situation, you know? And that's what happened here. I'll take yous around the world.
Yes, please do.
Take us for a spin.
Buckle up, everyone. Buy the ticket, take the ride.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
So you've got this one here, a whole city. Here's the favorite.
I don't know. I think that one might end up being dethroned by the new one that's coming.
The new one does look nice.
See, there's
the wingspan on that one.
Man.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
I actually covered that one with shiny stuff and some glitter because I just felt like it wasn't quite as poppy as I wanted to.
That's what I did to my 64 after I got it.
I love this building here. So yeah, that's what I did with my X Plus. I put them in their own little world. And then that was first. These things were first. And then I saw a picture that Geo Davis did. If anybody in the collecting world knows and loves good old Geo Davis, he's not really hanging around much anymore, but he took a picture of this figure. I'll show it to you. Keep talking amongst yourselves.
Think of a topic. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Well, I guess while he's doing it, I'll go.
Okay, yeah, sure, Michael. The newbie to Sofubi. I love that too. Yeah.
I spilled my beer.
The newbie to Sofubi. So a lot like Lou, I started back when I was an adolescent back in the 90s. This is not something I bought off of eBay. This is my toy. This is my toy as a child. And so it took me many, many years to fall back in love with this stuff again. Because as you're going up, Power Rangers and Godzilla, they take a back seat to, life stuff, dating, friends, a job, you put all that stuff away for a little while. And then back in 2013, I got back into collecting seriously after the first teaser trailer. I think it was the SDCC teaser trailer for Godzilla 2014. And so that's when I got back into Tokusatsu and Godzilla and Power Rangers and Super Sentai and all that stuff. And then I just caught the itch. I caught the bug. And I started small with SH Monster Arts. And then I got bored with SH Monster Arts because I thought, okay, so if I'm going to pay this much money for this little thing, I'm going to go pay the same amount of money, but just maybe slightly more for that big screen accurate gray thing over there. And I like what Andy said earlier, I started shotgunning figures. Like I was just buying up everything that I could see that I was like, oh, I like that. I like that King Ghidorah. I like that Hedorah. I like that Gigan. And, before I knew it, I had amassed this collection of gray and bone white. And, and so, fast forward maybe a couple years later, I started getting bored with that stuff. And then
you walk in, you go, I'm going to start the day with, well, these are some butch-ass figures up in here.
Suddenly feel a bit nauseous.
Guess I should punch something later.
So what gave me the Sofubi bug, and I was telling this to Ryan, this is before we started recording, was actually this little guy here. For some reason, when I got this in the mail, I was very enamored by it. It was just this metallic green Mechagodzilla. Mechagodzilla is one of my favorite characters from the from Kaiju Iga. And I was like, the more I look at this, the more I fall in love with it. And then I start remembering all these conversations I'm having with AJ of Kaiju Live, all the wonderful photos that I've seen of Andy's collection and some other people's collections. And so I just started, you know, getting bit by the bug of Sofubi, and I started looking at my collection. I'm like, man, my collection's kind of boring. Not that I don't love what I have on my shelf. It's just, it's kind of, it's starting to get dull to me. So, yeah, one night, after a glass of bourbon and many thoughts to myself,
pondering, yes,
pondering to myself, stroking my beard.
I shall get into the Sofubis.
Yes, this beautiful boy came across a Kaiju Live auction.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this is the this is actually the color change version. This is the if I can get him to, let me rub.
It goes yellow, yeah.
Yeah, it goes yellow.
Yeah.
Let me rub his belly here. I don't know if you can see.
There's another enabler.
Yeah.
As he got into Sofubi, so too did he torment all of you with it.
Yes.
Because then he could shotgun, and if he didn't care for it, maybe you'll buy it.
Maybe. Exactly.
You know?
Frank is just as bad.
Oh,
right.
Frank's
custom
Frank
painting.
Like, oh, you don't like it? Can I paint it?
Exactly. And his work is amazing. So
It
hit Frank
is,
up too.
dude.
Yeah.
Some of the Giga Brain King Ghidorah that he's done.
I think the reason why, and we can probably we'll get into this later, but I think the reason why I want to collect these things, especially these designer stylized figures, is because of the artistry and like I feel like more. And now this is probably this is going to piss some people off, but whatever.
I see where you're going.
I feel like there's more love put into these than don't get me wrong. I love this guy. Like I love.
Well, a lot of the love is the sculpting of those realistic figures. There's the love.
Right,
I've captured it, and ones that really catch fire, like the Megalon this year.
Megalon was amazing.
Right.
But then after that, it's in a factory being painted, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But there's just something about these that just kind of turns me on. You know, it's like you come into my little collection room and I say good morning to my children and I automatically gravitate towards the colorful ones. Like I went on a tear this last month of buying things. So I bought this from Toku Toy Town. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful little Titanosaurus figure. And then some others that we'll get into later. But the reason why I'm collecting these things is because it just makes me feel good.
Right.
It just makes me, it just gives me joy. Yeah. It just sparks joy in what in this
stuff. Sorry,
like,
Marie Kondo. Right. You're right, Marie.
You've been infected, my friend. Congratulations.
I have.
I have bought figures that have cost ridiculous amounts of money that I've been after, opened the box, grabbed it, sold it the next day. Mm-hmm. And that's how you have to do it. If it doesn't do exactly what you said, Michael, it doesn't belong in your home, you know?
Right.
No.
If you didn't get it right away, it doesn't belong in your home.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there shouldn't be like a pondering session with these. You know, if you find
I like this thing I just spent $500 on.
I mean, really, it's just okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll get used to it, you know?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, there's that imposter syndrome. Like to what Andy said, like you pull something out of the box, like either you bought it directly from a fellow collector or you purchased it from a retailer like Awesome Collector or Toku Toy Town. You pull it out of the box and you're like, this doesn't look as good. This doesn't make me feel good as I thought it would. So then you feel like an imposter for wanting to get rid of it. So you sit on it for a while. Try to enjoy it.
No shame.
Yeah. You try to enjoy it, but it
immediately goes.
Yeah.
That's my philosophy as well. A lot of people say to me, you know, like you flip a lot of stuff, but they also need to keep in mind that I have a small budget and I have a 2.5-year-old, you know, things like that. So it's not so much the one in, one out, but it's more of I'm mapping out where the collection's going, which is the key to this whole thing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
the display, where does it go? What do you need? You know?
Right. Ask yourself who, what, where, when, why, and then how. How do I do this?
You need a Pilot Ace Hedorah, Andy. You're nothing as a Hedorah collector until you have a Pilot Ace. By the way, the best part about this is you get to learn all these terms and feel really smug about it.
Write all the stuff down. All of it. Everything we're saying. Write it down.
The flowers are still standing. Anyway.
Lou, what was you about to say? I'm sorry, I cut you
Oh,
off.
well, I was just going to agree with pretty much everything you were saying. And it really, like, the part I didn't really explain much about how I got into it, besides just seeing, like, one of the best collections in the world, was that I was already a fan of monster faces and, you know, Universal monsters, like, love it. And again, that's one of those things you're like, why do I love this so much? It's, like, kind of scary, but it's also, like, kind of charming. And, you know, always been a Godzilla fan, but and Ultraman and stuff, but that there's just so much, like, once you get into the Japanese monsters, there's just nothing else like it in the world. And me being, like, into designing clothes and stuff, it's the suit thing is what really got me. It's just so endearing to that they made all those things, got in them, and now, you know, did these amazing films. They're just, this Technicolor is beautiful, the background's gorgeous, what they're doing, their screams are beautiful, like it's amazing. And the idea that you can now get these really pretty pieces of art that are made to, you know, to replicate them is, I don't know what it is. I'm always like,
It leaves you speechless. Yeah.
Right.
But it's just this beauty that if you have that, I don't know, is it like a will or something, or disease that you are obsessed with monsters, like you're a monster kid, then I don't know.
I have a running list. I have a running list of everything I have purchased on my computer.
You lucky bastard.
That scares me.
I wrote down what
I have a spreadsheet. It has a picture of one figure in it.
I wrote down what I bought it for. And I even wrote down what I could potentially sell it for, because that was a precautionary measure. Precautionary measure for me and my ex-wife was, if something was to ever happen to me, I would want her to just
we
sell
forced David Dobko to deal with it.
Yeah, just sell it.
He's my personal attorney. Hit up David Dobko. He'll take care of it.
Yeah,
I gotta get to this because I know it's David's to be like, have you done that schedule yet?
David's like, Ryan, stop telling people to take me on.
You can already see him on the billboard, like
just like
yeah. Peter's crap.
I mean, because these things are they're more than just toys. They're to a point they're investments. Yeah,
they're collectible figurines.
Yeah, make sure you're writing the date down
with articulation.
What I do is I take a picture of it, and then with what I paid. So you take a picture and then you hit edit and then you just draw what you paid. That's all I've done.
That's a pro tip, though.
My phone got erased, so 3 or 4 years of doing that went.
Yeah, always like coding things, what you paid. I think the date is always really important too. However, it's easiest for people, like print out your PayPal receipt or your whatever receipt, wherever it came from. Like, jot down that information because it will get behind you quickly. Like, I mean, it did me. I didn't really think to do that. I've kind of caught up a little, but yeah, I would love to ask more. I know the topics come up in some of the collectors' Facebook groups, but I would love to know like what people are really using to catalog their collection and what are the main things, like what you paid, the date, and then if you're taking something out of its bag, making sure that you bought it with a bag and a card, and like there's
I take a picture of it before I take it out. So so there's a picture of it, then the picture of the header card, then the price. That's all I do. But
yeah,
I guess that
would be nice.
That's another interesting question though, real quick, is like, do you keep the bags and headers? Do you keep the staples? Or do you toss everything?
I've been keeping everything. I've been keeping everything.
You see these? If I open these two doors open, bags and headers would just dump onto the ground. I literally
Good man.
Yeah. You gotta keep them though. People are like, oh, so no header card?
No bag or header, bro? No bag or header? No, I'm not interested. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes the header cards are just as pretty as the piece too.
It's very true.
Really, really cool artwork on there. That stuff's great. but yeah, the filing cabinets are good. Like I've been wanting, I've like been, so I want to do like all Marmot, all M1, all, you know, Marsan.
That's what I try to do. It takes forever.
Yeah, because again, you brought up a really interesting point. Like I have a very long commute to work, and I'm always like, what if something happens to me? Somebody needs to know what to do.
Doing it. If you can see, this bag has Sophie Life, YMSF, and other. So I started doing it, and then they overtook these drawers until now they're just this clusterfuck of nightmare.
I think that's an interesting question to ask everybody, because it does come up from time to time in some of these collectors groups. Do you keep the boxes or do you toss the boxes? Like, what do you do with them? Like for me personally, I if I get an X Plus and I know it's one that I'm going to keep, I'll cut the lid off and then save the lid, but I'll throw the box away. But I'm just curious because I know that comes up a lot when you're talking with new collectors. Like, do you keep the box or do you toss the box? Like, what do you do here?
I keep everything. The staples thing was funny because there has been times where I'll bend the staple back and literally toss it in the bag and then be like, what are you doing this? Like, that's so dumb. Stop doing that.
That's great. It's like, it has the original fucking staples in there. Okay,
that's actually a Rich thing. If you're familiar with Rich Iso, he keeps the staples.
He's one of the people that got me involved in collecting gray.
Same.
None of this would have happened either.
Rich's videos are awesome.
Between Rich and Leslie.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, it was terrible what I was buying at one point.
I know. Shout out to them.
Leslie's a pretty bad influence on people. Like, I know that because he just like, yes.
Because he's enthusiastic, I think.
And then
because he's a positive person, yeah.
If you say that you blame him for the purchase, that just antagonizes him even more. Yeah. And then he'll start messaging you, and it's awesome. But
I can neither confirm nor deny that I tried to buy that gigantic Daijujin from him at one point. Man.
I've hit him up about the Megazord so many times. The X Plus Megazord, just been like, just let me have it, please.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I too keep boxes. I collect Super 7 Ultimates, right? These boxes are ridiculous. They're massive, but they come with all the accessories. The boxes are cool. Mm-hmm. So I just have these stacked up in my garage. It's ridiculous.
I have a crawl space in the garage. I mean, in my basement. I literally throw them in there. Just throw them in.
I have a broken down car though in my garage that I'm trying to sell to put a drum set in there. And I figure maybe when I do that, I might go through some of my boxes, just kind of let them go. We'll see. Probably not though.
Yeah, I don't understand throwing boxes away at all or cards.
It's so difficult, man. It's so difficult because it's kind of like half the piece. Someone worked on that, and it's a part of the art. It's that's amazing.
Like I love the it's funny because I'm not a fan of rainbows and I'm not a fan of blanks, but I love the M Pop. Like the Marasan rainbow sets. I don't know if you can see up here, but
is it eye blinking?
Oh, those are rad.
Yeah,
okay.
So it's just the colors and the sculpts are just really pretty, and I don't know, I love them. But anyway, they come.
Oh yeah, the blanks.
Yeah.
Well, the M Pop sets. Yeah. But they come in these like regular boxes, and they print out a sheet of paper that just has them on there, and it's like M Pop, and it's like I have to keep the box now because
there's a header M Pop set. I'm like, I wish I had so bad.
Yeah, I'm not a big blank person either, but I got the Red Shin Passion Tank. But the Red Shin Passion Tank kind of turned me. It turned me. Yeah, I'm a fan now.
Yeah, and then there's like the.
I have some freaking blanks.
Great box. You can't just like toss a box that's got all these like great stuff on it, and
you can't toss a box.
You know what we should do real quick? This is an interesting one. What's your favorite piece in your collection? Can you say? I'll go first real quick, okay? I know it's a typical question, right? But I figure why not,
Sure.
M1 Nakajima.
Great one.
Down. This is as David Dobko would say, quintessential.
Yeah.
If you're starting a Sofubi collection, in my opinion, you need this. Like, this is, guys, so much so, I have it tattooed on my arm. Like, I don't know if you can see that.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So like, I'm kind of about it, right? So this is house is on fire. I'm taking my kid in this, and like we're starting over. But this is
And no other examples.
this is the piece. That's it. I'm closing shop. Beep. So yeah, who wants to go next? Favorite piece in your collection right now? It changes a lot for some people. But
well,
this
just
is always
because you
fun.
said that, like I have the same weird thing you have, but like this,
Yes.
I love this piece.
Yes.
It's the newer 54 M1. I also have this one tattooed on me, so I'm just showing.
That's rad. Yes, that's so cool.
I don't know. I think that they just this one's so great. I had Akira Takarada sign this one, so it's just even more pretty. But I can't get enough of this face. Like the 54 is my favorite.
That M1 is just
ever.
ridiculous.
I mean, just from adjusting it, you see so many different looks at the profile with the 54.
Yeah.
You know, it's so awesome. So
it's
awesome.
just that and the other thing I was talking about why we like monster faces and stuff. It's just that like dead eye look.
Yeah.
Or it's just so
He has evil intentions. Yeah.
Yeah, so much expression with like not any expression at all.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
No, it totally does. Totally.
Another piece that's probably my favorite. Now, these actually, I have another little case upstairs in my living room that's got my super special ones. But even though there's a lot of special ones down here, but this one's really great. This was from G-Fest.
Oh, cool.
This was an exclusive. It's the
Sparkly.
3, yeah. So this was a Chibi Goji Toys exclusive. Linda actually put some fun. It's clear blue, but then she put that iridescent.
Oh, I remember these. Yeah, totally.
That's awesome.
Like a fun little stud sparkle tongue.
Right.
So I like this piece a lot because I was part of helping sell that year when they did these exclusives.
It's the textures.
It's just so pretty. I mean, I really, you can't really tell how pretty it is on the camera, but
really random question. How many times a day do you smell your figures?
All the time. My wife will come in my room and be like, "Dude, are you serious?" And I'm just like, "Hey, honey."
This one's still,
dude. I know. I've had
is
this for decades, and it's like
4 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
But still smells interesting.
You guys are freaking.
People say that, but
they're smelling their Zilla toys.
I've never got that.
Smell.
Like I never got into the smell of Sofubi. Like you think that I would, but I
when
love
you first open the bag.
Another weird thing that collectors do, but
it's some nice toxic chemicals you got there.
Rich used to put his head in. Rich would put his head in bags and smell them. Like that's awesome.
Yeah. I more so for like weird collectors.
Biolante with a glass full of orange.
Dude. Can we please sign a petition to get him to do videos again? Like he's kind of taking hiatus.
Leave him alone. He's done enough.
I know, but I just miss watching.
I'm surprised I still give a shit. Just like what Lou was saying earlier, she doesn't know how long this is going to be. Lou, is this the longest collecting you've ever had of anything, or is there a longer one before this?
No,
this is the longest.
Well, it has to be because. Yeah, definitely.
Right, me too. I mean, only Doctor Who, but I won't bore you with those details, of which is 90% of the contents of this noggin.
Favorite piece?
What?
What's your favorite piece?
Favorite piece, Andy?
I don't do that, but you know what I will do?
Just please.
Talk to everyone about the beauty of blanks. Shall we?
Let's do it. Buckle up.
Okay, buckle up, Buttercup. Talking about some glitter, huh? Well, all right. What do we do? Okay, sure. I consider it a blank if only one detail is painted.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's a rad piece.
I don't know about that.
Well, let's talk about some blanks, folks.
Blanks. Yeah. Let's talk about some blanks.
How about Planet X Asia's Glitter Silver King Nawa blank, baby? Ooh, it's like a butter bean. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, this glamorous action is only $29.95.
$29.95. Free.
But there's more.
I need more glitter. I need more glitter in my collection.
Yeah, you really do.
I do. I need more glitter.
The creator of glitter was going to be here, but now we have an empty square.
Okay.
I love the gold glitter because it's like Vegas. It's
That's
for Vegas.
That next to this. Come on. With our powers combined, we are Disco City. Yeah.
I feel so sorry for the audio listeners right now.
I know, right? They're like, what are they doing? I'm like, yeah, we're Disco City. They're like, what does that mean? Like,
Well,
No, I missed out. I missed out on the Disco Goji twice so far. Like both times they've sold out on Jay's site. And
Same.
So the next time it comes up, if it comes up again, Jay, I promise I will get it. I promise I will buy one.
It happened to me twice, and then I hit him up and I said, "Hey, man, if you just happen to find one," and he goes, "Yeah, one's on the way." And I was like,
Yeah.
"I love you, Jake.
Well,
I love you."
No, Jay is super. He's super good because he's holding one for me too, or he's actually holding two things for me right now.
Very flexible.
Until
so if you
after
see something,
Christmas.
hit him up.
So,
Yeah. Took me Toy Town.
So my favorite. Go ahead, Andy.
Oh no, you haven't done your favorites yet.
Okay, so my favorite figure in the collection. This is probably the most expensive Sofubi that I own currently. That's not in my house right now. So this one is the lucky bag. Is the lucky bag? I'm not info. There we go. It's the lucky bag Marmot Musagoji.
Tea party.
That is it's
Tea
beautiful.
party.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Hey kids, Marmot is the best.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah. This was a spur of the moment birthday present or birthday present gift to me.
Happy belated.
Yeah, happy belated.
You
to
have
me,
to, you know.
Right.
Who's gonna do it if not you?
Right.
No one.
Exactly.
That's a fact.
Treat
Like no one knows
yourself.
how to buy another person's Sofubi. So.
No,
Right.
It's so specific. I bought you a Godzilla.
Yeah, what?
I got it at Walmart.
Yeah.
Well, I have Playmates. Don't knock Playmates until you've tried them because they're actually not that bad.
Totally not.
I'll
Totally
knock
not.
Playmates right now.
But
Hey, Bandai.
Not fun.
I love this thing.
That's right. Come and get it. No cards and letters. I have a couple. All right, Jesus.
Nothing but love for Playmates. Nothing but love.
Nothing but love.
That's a beautiful Corsaurus.
Yeah. All right, continue, sir. Sorry.
I was just gonna say it's just it's this milky ivory color and it's gorgeous.
That milk so good.
Yeah.
And it smells good.
It looks glorious. You know what I mean? Like it has this vibe of like.
Yeah.
We
right.
get you some scratch and sniff stickers.
Yeah.
It catches. I have this one setting on like a far shelf, so it catches the light just right. Like you can kind of see through it when the sun comes through, which I know is terrible for white figures. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's
Kids.
you're
I'm playing with fire at that point.
playing with fire right there.
Yeah, but I just
find yellow milky figure.
right.
Variant edition.
Right. But I just love it. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I want to have more of this sculpt. So far, my favorite sculpts have been from M1 and Maro-san. I don't have too many Marmots in my collection, but I really want more of this particular one right here.
There you go, specificity. You know what you need? All of them.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious.
Challenge accepted.
A wall of all of them?
Did you have any sunlight in that room?
All of them.
Andy? I didn't think
No.
so.
There's literally
Are
no
your
dust
windows
either.
blocked?
I don't even have to clean this thing.
Are your windows blocked?
No,
Or
I'm
is
in a
there no
basement,
window?
and somebody built
Oh,
it.
basement.
The previous owner built out some sort of like. It's only 5.5 feet tall. I mean, I can't even stand up in here to be. It really is just an art piece. It's not a room because you can't stand up. It was basically where he did his exercise.
Stand up down there.
Right, and I went, you know what you need in here? Oh yeah.
Little bit of this, little bit of this.
Yeah. So I was going to explain how one goes from gray to where we are all now.
Sure.
Yes, please do.
So,
Please
go
do.
ahead.
If I may take it away for a second here, I wanted to show what I was showing before, which is, let's just say you're collecting these fine X Plus. Maybe you're putting them in a city. Maybe you're lining them up. Maybe you're enjoying this type of stuff.
Sure.
And then you think to yourself, you see something colorful and you go, but I really need things to be, more realistic. I like realistic. I like where you're going. I like dorsal plates. So maybe you went crazy and you bought Team Orange on X Plus. If everyone remembers, this is the Sakai orange version of his sort of like prototype version. Huge spines on it. And they're colorful. Oh, I've seen many people because of this one fall because they're like, that's not really what it looks like, but I love it so much.
The orange is vibrant.
Well, I loved those colors, but I ain't getting rid of no damn realism. No, these kids with their bathtub toys can go fuck off. So I'm going to buy this red realistic. See, because now I'm at least trying to branch out in colors. Here's a blank red Shin Godzilla, but it's still realistic. It's still realistic. But then the light shines through it, and
What, the kid?
Yeah, it is the kid.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so fun. Anyway, so you look at it, and you think to yourself, well, maybe a little weird, because I like
one. Just one.
Let's just add a little weird.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a stylized Shin Godzilla, but it's glitter now. Wait, I think I'm lost. I think I'm lost. And the next thing you know, you're buying this shit.
Dude, that's supposed to have been here today, but it's going to come tomorrow.
Yeah, whatever. We hear a lot of talk around here at the Hedora Fanatics Club.
I will show you a picture of it tomorrow.
Yeah, you're buying
Chilling
the
on my
ridiculous
desk.
size Sofubi, and then you're
14 inches.
You mean I could get similar sized figures, but that are nuts?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then it's all over. You don't care about it
Welcome
being
to the
realistic.
club.
You don't care about it having a realistic paint job. You want it not to. So that's where I'm at. I mean, I do buy X Plus when they come out with something. Like they come out, like I say, if they come out with a 91 King Ghidorah, done like that. I bought this SH Monster Arts Hedorah. I'm not locked into this.
Now here's a good question. Do you guys focus on particular characters, or are you just trying to buy whatever tickles your pickle or tickles your fancy?
With this, X Plus is kind of fascinating to me, and X Plus collectors are fascinating because it's so funny, because it's like they have the same like want for the thing and like love for it, but it's so different. So I always wonder like what's going on, because I love these colors and stuff so much, and there's not really a lot of that, but it's also there's so much detail in those. So I feel like I definitely go for it's like if there's a certain character out, yeah, I'll try and get it, but it's mainly what they did with it, you know. So
right.
that's
classic shotgun.
Yeah, I mean that's really like my main thing. If there's something funny, you know, then I definitely like that. I'm trying to like the doll eyes Garamons, like I have a bunch of those. Down here, there's almost all of them, but they're just weird, you know. So I want to collect them because they have like the moving eyes. But it really just has to wow me with the
you like the unnecessarily elaborate.
Yeah,
that's something I always like to say. It's just
expression, really, and then like the color is always going to be something, and then if it was just, or if it's just kind of boring and was something funny that happened in an Ultraman episode, then like they made the thing, then
they
like
fell down,
so yeah, I don't know, it's really in my collection, like it does make a lot of sense, because it does have a lot of like the colors kind of match up, but and the characters can be kind of weird, or like, you know, like a Yamanyana.
Oh, the sushi figures.
Guys, like,
cool.
I love those sushi figures.
Yeah. So the vinyl here is like this pearly white glitter. It's so pretty. And then the paint here is just this really, really pretty blue, and then just weird face. So a lot of that kind of stuff. I don't know if that answered your question. I don't just get all Godzilla. I don't just get like that I thought was the figure of 2020. Like that, Marson did such a good job with that.
So for me to answer the question real quick, I have a small space, so I've done it very character specific kind of a display, where I have a couple Godzillas that that I dig. Like I have a Shin, and then I have a 65 gold Gigabrain coming in. That's pretty sweet. But then I have like Godzilla's top 5 foils, in my opinion, like his Nemesis, right? So I've got a Biollante, a King Ghidorah, a Gigan, Mecha Godzilla here, got a really cool Hedorah, and the Mondo Mothra. So that kind of like rounds that out for me. But Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question because like you can kind of get lost in it, right? So like I know people that have all of the variants of this, where for me personally, just one is enough, right? But like, I mean,
like I know that certain collectors are passionate about certain characters more than others. Like, well, Andy is very passionate about Hedoras,
and that was really just to laser focus. It literally was. I just was like, this was the character, especially Emergent, when I started to get involved with them, that had so much weird variety. Only Godzilla can be matched in how weird that the figures of Hedorah get. So I thought, everybody's doing Godzilla. I love Hedorah and the message behind it. So all of this. I mean, I collect a few other characters. I mean, King Joe, Alien YL, King Ghidorah, obviously. But really, it's just a small pool. It's almost all these dudes. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine. They're good company.
That you've stuck mainly with one character, and you know you're pretty known. You're the Smog Lord. Like, it's amazing.
Well, thank you. I feel like people would think that sticking with one particular character would get boring, but from what I've seen of the Sofubi community, it never gets boring because there's always one. There's always another variant of something.
And Hedorah, you're lucky. He has like 9,000 forms. Really,
well, and you'll never have a complete collection. That's another thing that a lot of people need to just get that out of your mind, right? Is that there's always going to be a new grail or something that you stumble on that is just like, wow, I need to have that. And then you realize how rare it may be, and then you know how expensive it could be. There's a whole bunch of variables that go into these things. So it's not just like, I want that, and then you have it. It's a part of the journey. Because of Andy, I am now obsessed with finding the blue and gold King Ghidorah. The Giga Brain King Ghidorah, colored like the original color scheme that he was supposed to be before he was all gold.
Right. Oh, you mean that dude?
Yes, that one, Andy.
Andy, that sculpt is amazing.
Don't you have two, Andy?
I had two of them, and I just waffled one off.
Yep. Yeah, he waffled one off, and that's when I was like, man, I have to have that now.
It's amazing, and I do regret it.
It's a beautiful. I sold mine as well, and Andy told me that I would regret it, and I do. So
I regret it. I did it, and I regret it. I know I had two, and I don't generally try to do two.
Yeah.
But I was trying to do an image. It didn't work. But at the same time, yeah, he's over here going, "Where'd my brother go?" What's that? That's one that broke today. My X Plus is the X Plus in the shot.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Yes, I see him. Yeah.
Yeah, his wing snapped off with no reason, literally no reason whatsoever. It just busted off, and I'm like, "This is payback for selling him."
Yep.
He's like, "You bitch,
gonna get you.
My pegs will no longer work, you jackass."
Jack wagon.
Now, taking like new collectors in mind, like this can be a pretty intimidating hobby.
Oh, of course,
like a price point. Variants, just everything under the
names.
sun.
Those are Toy Graph, for instance.
Right. So what where would a brand new collector like start? Because it's not like you can go to Walmart and pull these things off the shelf.
You can now, but not these. But
well, that's
I feel like with new collectors, it's always like a weird thing because there's never an answer because you have to be like, why am I doing this? What is
what are you doing it for?
But there are stages of it, and that is like, there's collectors that I've talked to that have been doing it 10 years longer than, or earlier than me, and like a friend of mine said, well, you're going to sell this, or you're going to get into vintage, or you're going to, and it's like, no, I'm not. Like, you feel like you've got it all figured out, but you have no idea because what I'm saying is like the beginning, when you start, you go through these stages, and that's like a real thing where it's like, where to start? I don't know. It depends on what you're doing it for. Why do you feel like you have to do something? But you will start to accumulate everything. You will start to want to sell something. You will start to like gravitate to one thing or one color or something. And that's really a fun part. And I feel like once you get there, it's the best part of collecting, like, cause you just know, like you'll have something like Andy's room or something, like.
I didn't know I was into glitter. Yeah, I did.
Like me 3 years ago, I said, well, I'm never going to get tired of gray and bone white. Like, but that was me 3 years ago.
More life affirming than walking in here and seeing all of this beautiful gray and bone white.
Yeah. To me, that's just the best part of it. And like kind of a weird way to answer that question is that there's just the stages that you have to get to. Like,
yeah.
Like on your journey in collecting, like you will cross that bridge one day.
Well, that's true.
I would like to Budinsky here and say one big trapping, one huge failing, and one big problem that people who are trying to get into this are having now is the glut on the market of all of these. There's more Sofubi now than there ever was before. And as even, I mean, I don't want to blame myself, but there's a lot of freaking Adora now. And so some of them are not as good as a lot of the things that we're seeing. And so I see a lot of times people will buy a Sofubi thinking, oh, this is the cool thing everybody likes. And then it's just kind of a crappy one, like
easy.
All the new CCPs.
I was going to say it's happened recently. Yeah.
I was going to say, like, it seems like there's a new CCP Hedora coming out every week.
The new one is the Poison Dart Frog. But it looks to me like Spider-Man cosplay. Meanwhile, you got the original lineup, which look like this and go like this.
That one is insane.
This is what got me into it. There was a picture Geo Davis took of this guy's face. And I went, okay, now what? This is sort of like a Fabergé egg.
And guys, finding that for around $400 is a good deal. So just keep that in mind, right? When you're researching these things, like, sometimes they get pricey.
Yeah, the older ones do. And that's the thing that people get scared off. That's, I guess, what I'm saying is that people get scared off at the price of these more elaborate ones or the ones that are overly elaborate or passion tank crap. And they go, you know what, I'm going to just try that one that's sort of middle of the road. It's not too much. And then they go,
I don't like this.
So my advice is if you see something, maybe even from the past, or just before you choose to go into Sofubi, choose one. Choose one. Choose one that you know you've seen. You're not, I'm just going to see it and see if I like. Right. If there's one that you know you're going to like, you can feel it inside. That's the one you need to buy first. And not try to go, well, let's see what this freaking Sofubi thing is all about.
Not necessarily, and there's nothing wrong with, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this. But not go in saying, well, I don't like this one, but it's what I can afford.
Right.
Yeah, that's totally,
which is totally fine. Which is
kind of
totally
like it, and I want to see what Sofubi is like, but I can afford this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also,
you're going to endanger us. You're going to endanger our client, the nice woman who paid us in advance before.
There we go. There we go. I just want to say that there's an awesome community base that you can always reach out and contact anybody, and for the most part, they'll get back to you if you have a question about this stuff. I mean, people are in this community super nice and personable.
Not me though, man.
No, yeah, don't talk to Andy ever.
Don't ask Andy. No, never ask Andy.
No, but honestly though,
I ain't gonna tell you shit.
I've been friends with Andy Peters for a long time, and this is one of our first interactions face to face. And
Ish.
I mean, and he's awesome. So don't be afraid to hit him up.
David Dobko is a really good resource.
David Dobko is my attorney at law. Yeah. So.
Apparently all of ours now.
Yeah. I can't recommend him enough.
Yeah.
Some moldy Babylonian god.
Yep. Yeah, and like make sure you really enjoy your new purchase too, you know.
Right.
Immediately. I say
and because if you could be, maybe you do like something a lot and it is a lot of money, make sure that you like it more than that, because things don't have to hold their value. That is really, I mean, anything could happen.
I'm watching CCP destroy the value of my old ones right in front of my face.
Right, no,
awesome. That's how I made my salt, that wall of smokestacks. And now they're just pumping these pukes out at fucking light speed. Beautiful work. Thanks. Check it out. Oh, look, I've taken some down.
Oh,
what's
that? What's happening?
I feel like that is like
one made out of
drive home is that things don't always have to hold their value, even though they can. I mean, there's the same thing is in so many different collecting worlds, like coin collecting or
Beanie Babies.
There's tons of community base that do it. I mean, it's all like the same thing. You'll like if you see another like person that's into collecting, you'll be like, oh yeah, we do that too. Or there's a bunch of people that do this or they catalog or whatever, you know, or you go through these stages too, even though it could be like rocks or something like literal, like, I don't know, I think it's something, but
gemstones. Yeah.
Man, I work at the vintage toy shop, right? And I have lost count at like 5 million times about how many people call. I've got a vintage collection of Beanie Babies. I got all the rare ones. You still have the tags. Would you be interested? It's like, please don't buy things for FOMO reasons or, you know, because it's worth a lot right now. Like, I don't care if this wasn't worth $5. This means the world to me. And that's why you should do it. You know what I mean? So that's what I would
like.
say.
I feel like a lot of collectors, and this, I feel like this. I know this happens with Sofubi too, but coming from the world of being like primarily an X Plus collector, I feel like there's a lot of collectors that buy things with the mentality that they're going to flip it in a year.
Sure. Philadelphia, flip.
Yeah. Philadelphia.
Like
but
anytime,
I go, oh boy, they were really enjoying that. Barely out of the box, it looks like they're taking one promo picture to put it right back. Flip.
Yeah, exactly. Like anytime there's a new Sakai sculpt or a new FSL, it's I feel like people buy them and then like maybe 3 weeks later, like, oh, you know, I'm down on my luck, which happens, and I need to sell this. Or
my car, I tell you, my car broke down and.
Or it's like I'm just gonna sell this because I'm bored with it. Like I don't know. It just bugs me that people don't take the time to really enjoy stuff. Now I'm guilty of it too. I've sold a lot of stuff in the last like couple years but it's been stuff that I've just not been in love with.
That happens.
And I tell people it's like, because I sold a couple of I sold a couple of things a month or two ago, and they're like, "Oh, why'd you sell this? I thought you loved it." It's like, well, you know, I guess I don't love it as much as I used to. So I'm just going to pass it on to another collector, and I'm not going to price gouge you. I'm going to sell it to you for what I paid for it, and then I hope to give it a good home. And that's pretty much how I handle it.
Yep. I early on was a bit of a gouger, and I gouged one or two people, and I know it. I feel bad about it. And ever since then, I was like, fuck this. So I try to sell it at like whatever it is I paid, or if there's a bitch to try to ship it, I'll a little bit more. But I generally try to do what we call in the business sweetheart prices.
It's bro pricing. It's bro. I've always heard it as bro pricing.
For sweetheart.
I always like to throw in an extra goodie too, you know.
Yeah.
Way cuter.
Yeah, we have enough bros.
Yeah, you do.
Dude, that's true. Well, so does anybody have any collecting regrets? Throw that out to the panel real quick. Like any piece that you've had your eye on that you went to strike on.
I wanted to finish that story. I bought I bought the pilot. Everyone said, Andy Peters, Pilot Ace. You got to buy the Hedora Pilot Ace or you're garbage.
Yeah.
And so because I guess I was garbage if I didn't, I bought it, opened it up, took it out of the box, looked at it for 5 seconds, put it back in the box, sold it the next second. Did you hear that shit?
I did. Yeah. They're talking to you.
Screw you, Pilot Ace.
I'm
glad you went this. No, I'm not. Seriously, please. I do love Pilot Ace. It's just not that particular sculpt. I mean, no more cards and letters. Fuck you, Pilot Ace. No. I love Pilot Ace. Please. In any case, my biggest regret is the times I sold something and then the moment that it left, you knew you screwed up. And
I'm doing that right now.
There is a Megaton Medicom Marmot re-release of Godzilla that's shiny and has a metallic sheen. I think it's 73. Don't remember. But I just remember the moment it was gone, I went, well, that was stupid. It was so stupid that Lulu.
About this one.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I was like,
real good.
I think I might have done something wrong.
Yeah, this is really. Awesome. I was so glad they did this because it just.
You could club someone to death with that.
That's actually what my regret is, man. I had what was it, Medicom? Or no, it was Marmot, right? Those were Marmot.
Well, they're Medicom reissues of Marmot's of various scopes.
Right. So I had the Shogun Godzilla, and I was like, "This is amazing." And then someone offered me a price that I was like, "Whoa,
Right.
okay." So
When somebody immediately, don't you love that in Sofubi? It's like somebody
happens.
you'll go, "Hey, look, I'm so happy!" Immediately, PM, I'll give you $1,000 for it. You idiot."
right.
Well,
Well,
let
and
me enjoy it for 5 seconds on my
that-
fridge.
that's actually what happened, though, man. I was posting it like, "Hey, I got this," and they were like, "Hey, I'll
All the
take
time
it."
now.
And it was
Nobody
an
used to do
absurd
that.
price. So I was like, "Well, let me keep it for a bit," and I kept it for like 2 years.
The first one they did is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I hit the guy up. He was like, "I just got the Rodan, so I need the Godzilla," and he upped it even more. And I was like, "Oh, okay, crap. Well, yeah, I have to."
Oh, you mean the original? I'm talking about the first colorway they did of this Medicom.
Yeah. I'm sorry. They were
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I let that go, and I always look at my collection, and I'm like, it was almost there.
I'm still a baby, so I don't really have any regrets right now.
That's good, though. That's good.
I don't have any regret. I mean, I missed out on the Nakajima when it was on Jay's site. I should have jumped on it when I first saw it, but I think it was the green. It was the green pants one, the green suit, whatever he had on there, or maybe the one you have right now.
They're all cool, man. You can't go wrong. But this is me all day.
So my main regrets as a collector come from things I already own that I just can't get rid of.
That happens. Yeah.
Specifically the FSL Rodan. It's beautiful, but I regret buying it. Because
too much space? Or like,
no, because you can't, the fucker won't stay upright.
Right. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So
I finally got sick and bought somebody's built up Sakuda kit because at least it stands up.
Yeah.
Although he's mostly just protecting my vinyl records over here, which is not ideal. He used to have a little thing where I had him on a shelf floating in the diorama over here, but it fell down and went boom.
I think I've sold off most of my shotgun purchases, the ones that I just bought because I was new to the hobby and just wanted stuff on my shelf. Like I've sold most of that. The X Plus that I still currently own are for the most part ones that I actually love. I may be thinking about selling a couple more right now just to make room for more Sofubi, but
there you go.
That's just because I'm bit with the disease now.
The bug.
I've got the bug, so
yeah.
It happens, man. There is no cure for it. It's like you get it, and I've yet to lose it. I don't know if you ever do. Right?
I never understood why AJ wrote this big apology letter to me on Facebook, apologizing
about what he did to you,
about what he did to me, and now I understand.
I've written that to people. Yep, sorry. Somebody will go, "How do you get these?" And I'll go, "I'll tell you, but if I tell you, you're fucked."
Yeah, that's true.
Are you sure? Really?
Shall I continue?
So that's a good transitionary question. Like, how do we obtain our collections? And are there any okay, never mind.
I'm just kidding. Everybody can spill the beans.
Real quick, like as for regrets, this is gonna sound so silly, but I don't really
nothing is silly
as much because I have like I try to have a good attitude about everything. And like I said, like it's really in my mind that I'm forced to drive these things because I am infatuated with their beauty. Right. So I want them. As for missing out on something, regretting that when something comes up for sale or something, you miss out. It's going to pop up somewhere. Somebody's going to have it. And if you just wait, which you should be doing anyway, if you have a good attitude about it, wait and you will get it. That is like this magical thing that has happened to me. I've just, I'd like to get that figure one day. And if you just forget about it, there it is, and sometimes it's too expensive. And you're like, well, I'll wait again. And then it's almost a constant thing that I feel like happens if you just kind of
fell into my lap after I stopped trying.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right. It was just like, I don't know. Well,
but yes, as long as you maintain that, like you calm the obsession, because it is like it sounds bad, but it is an obsession. So if you can keep a good attitude about it, and you'll be able to obtain almost anything.
Patience of Job.
Yeah. As a new collector, like when I was new, and I was shotgunning everything. I like that term. Thanks, Andy. I like that. I like that term.
That was a good
shotgun.
term. Yeah.
It was when I was shocked.
And don't forget,
Gray.
never mind.
When I was buying things left and right, and I knew there was this one thing that I really wanted, but I've bought so many things before, like that thing that I really wanted would come up for sale and I couldn't afford it because I spent all my money on this thing, on these several other things that I didn't really want in the first place.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that happens a lot.
Yeah. And that's just, you have to pay attention to what's happening.
It stops happening.
Well, it's like, you know, you can look at that and be like, well, I didn't really want this. And now you've just learned something. So always something you can take a positive on it.
Right.
And hopefully
also,
someone hasn't learned something that you can pass on your mistake to.
Make friends in the collecting game so that you can learn their age.
Yeah. This, I don't know if I would call this a regret or not, but it's kind of funny. And it's like it's not my regret, but it's a regret story in a funny way. And Andy, this is your picture. And this is this guy right here.
Oh, oh shit. Yes.
I actually, you post this and I was like, it's like typing up this story of what had happened to me. And then I just like got sidetracked at work or something and didn't finish it. But yes, that is a stunner figure. It's just, it is gorgeous. The pink in the eyes, the glitter, everything about that piece is really.
My super light is dying.
At G Fest, I'm there, and Clawmark Toys, Diane has one. And I'm like,
yes, I remember this one. Yes.
How much is this? And wasn't Dave, it was another guy she had working. John, I think. John. They're all really nice, the guy she has working with her. But anyway, he's like, oh, yeah, you like that? That's a great one. Blah, blah, blah. Here's the price. And I'm like, okay, let me go talk to Linda. I go talk to Linda, and she says, let me go talk to Diane. So the two of us go back, and, you know, I'm just like loving this piece. We go back and we talk to Diane, and Diane says, I'm not selling that. And she puts it back behind the counter.
Well, because so many people started jabbering about it.
And to me, it was like, I wasn't really mad about it, but it was just funny. And it still is funny to me because she's a woman that's been collecting forever too. Like she's got, I don't know if you guys know about Diane from Walsh, but it was just funny to me because she was just like, whoa, what's happening? This is real. I love this piece. I'm not selling it. Like you had to ship that here to this convention. Like, right. But did it say like, so it was just,
here's it's true. When other people desire something, your desire becomes larger.
You can't help it.
That's how, you know, these things like, the Mondo figures sell out so fast.
But it was funny to watch that happen and just, you know, keep your good attitude about it and just be like, oh yeah, that was kind of awesome.
One day it'll happen.
I can see myself doing that. Like, I don't want to sell this anymore, kid. Get out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just part of the journey.
Yeah.
So, and you have good taste. That's the only giant I like of the Marmot Giant.
I love that one.
Yeah. I love the giant number 2s.
I was this close.
Those are all of these guys right here. This is the number 2 sculpt of the giant. And this is the number 1. These and other stupid facts you can memorize if you become addicted to Sofubi.
Join us, won't you? Please join us.
As you know what a number 1 and number 2 giant marmot sculpt look like. Oh, join us, won't you? While a giant CCP sculpt joins the fray, and behind him a spread arm CCP. Oh, the delights! Hey, behind me the Marusan 350B sculpts wall, but on top, of course, is the 450 size glitter blanks.
Yeah. Take notes, everyone.
But in all sincerity,
have you been enjoying my customized chrome Atelier P1? Oh, have you? Great.
Ooh, fancy.
Oh, it's so glorious. I have a light for him. Oh, it turns on and off like this. Isn't that glorious?
Well, I have like a quick question. I can tell Andy is not going to be a part of this quick conversation, but
sure.
We've been talking about Sofubi, Kaiju designer toy, huge, totally different worlds. Like I've tried to mix them a little. I love the Kaiju. I love the history of it. I love what they've done with the designs. They're not that scary. They're pretty, you know, what they've done with these monsters and stuff. But designer toys, though, to me, were never something that I was like, I want designer toys, like, ever. I almost didn't like them in the beginning. But it's one of those things where if the design is just great, I'm going to go for it. So that's another one of those, like, is it part of your style? Do so do you guys have any of that kind of stuff, or is it just specifically kaiju related?
Right now, it's primarily kaiju related because that's the world that I live in with podcasting and the magazine and things of that nature.
So you're talking about unlicensed stuff, basically.
Well, sure. Yeah,
I think so.
Made up characters that are
like
not licensed to them,
like the little Super 7 Sofubi, the little Super 7 Sofubis. What do they call? You probably know, Ryan, what they're called. I have no idea. Yeah, those. Yeah.
I've got, like, okay, so that's a good example. And if you're into kaiju and you like all this, like, Super 7's got a really cool history behind a lot of this stuff too. So that, I love Super 7 stuff. I love the older stuff. So I have, quite a few of those. That's really fun to collect. Like this Gargamel stuff is, to me, is just super pretty, but it's just, this sculpt is gorgeous. And it's like the perfect, like, handheld toy. And then they also, I mean, they've done tons and tons of really nice. This is a really great glitter one.
I mean, King Nawab is even ripped off of King Ghidorah. I don't have anything as original. I'm terrible.
Yeah. But then, since I got to bring this guy out, since we're talking about Sofubi,
hold on.
Yeah. So
we're going to buy the next one of those and make elaborate.
Yeah. I just really wanted the standard painted one. He's got a little eyes on. Max Toy original.
Those are just delightful as hell.
Oh wow, that's great. So there's a lot of stuff you can do with any of it, but with designer toys, it is really fun too. It's another whole world to get into. And since a good kind of mix up here is that there's obviously you guys have seen all the Enraku stuff that's coming out. Godzilla and Toho stuff from them. Enraku I fell in love with Enraku a long time ago because they have their own characters that are just so weird and pretty. And I'm showing them for you podcast people listening. They're really, really great. Weird figures. And Enraku used to have some videos. I haven't found these videos in a long time, but they were animated little cartoons and they had these characters in them and they were just weird. Just like really fun stuff in different colors. So I would hope a lot of people getting into the Enraku stuff get so into it that they go discover like the older stuff because it's really fun. This is a new guy called Shameless Toy. This is really fun. It's like a robot guy and this little person goes in their head.
That's rad.
So yeah, my major cases are filled with licensed kaiju. Yeah, that's a fun piece. Licensed stuff, but there's just a lot of other different things. I mean, is there anything that you guys have seen that designer wise that's not licensed yet?
Yeah, there's a Candy Bolton. The sort of
the whale. I can't remember.
The horn whale with the hand. Yeah,
it's got a beautiful
marble versions of this. And those are like, that's really one of my grails is to get a Candy Bolton Ake with like the total marbling. She does the best marbling.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a great independent designer too. It's a good one.
That's a Todd Robertson deal. Another one. But that's really all I have. I'm afraid I dip toes and then I'm like, it's danger zone, you know. Then when you suddenly start liking it, you're like, this is a danger zone. Danger zone.
I mean, I have my eye on a few. These are still licensed, but they're not. You don't see them as often, like the Harryhausen stuff, like the Ray Harryhausen pieces.
I want a Bubo. I want a Bubo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ish,
yeah,
Boo-boo.
like that
Tell
kind
me
of.
not to buy boo-boo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the-
this is the newest like headlock piece that Justin Ishmael put out. They're great. Like I literally just got this. Is that the that's
Yeah,
my favorite one because I have a Garlu and that's just like such a great
The
figure.
great
Yeah.
Galu.
yeah.
I have
Someone
that
was.
again just got this one.
yeah, that's a rad piece. The
Yeah.
designer con, yeah.
I saw someone selling an 8-inch or 9-inch Ymir. I don't know. I can't remember who made it, but I regret not buying it. But at the time, I was like, I should probably save my money for other things. But like the more I thought about it, I was like, man, I should have really bought that Ymir because the 20 Million Miles to Earth is one of my favorite Harryhausen films.
Yeah. The M1 trike is really, really well painted. If any of you guys have one of those, I mean, I knew that figure would be really great. Yeah.
I actually have two because they're bookending the King Ghidorahs. Because people go, oh, where's Hedorah? But yeah, these things are the charm factor on this.
Yeah, the box work
is
on those
beyond measure. There's no way to measure the amount of charm that comes off of. Because also, folks at home, they work.
Yeah,
they work just fine.
They're nice trikes.
Start a collection with that. You know,
little butt wheel. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I've got.
Good luck trying to find more charming.
This whole shelf here is like I can't not put the box with them because the box artwork is so amazing.
I agree. It's definitely half of it.
But M1, that's the best.
My wife brought me a beer. Hi, honey.
Hi.
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 I just realized real quick, I never chatted about how I got into this crazy whole collecting.
Oh, you
thing,
didn't, did you?
I'm gonna go super quick. Okay, so super hardcore. Can I say super again? Super.
Sure, super.
Say 7 times.
Yeah, super. Just I've been collecting my whole life pretty much. Everything from like G.I. Joe, Star Wars. I was like an 80s kid, so I had a whole slew of things. And then I sold it all and got a base and became a punk rock kid, right? And did all that. And then I realized, like, wait a minute, there's still a community of both kind of, right? And it was kind of in the like vinyl scene. And so I kind of got into like, designer art, and then it kind of bled into Kid Robot for a little bit. And then I realized I don't like Kid Robot so much, but the artists
I had one in my town.
Right. So like Frank Kozik, for example, right? Like amazing, but everybody else is, hit or miss, just kind of depends. From there, I jumped into Bandai, and then from Bandai X Plus, and then from X Plus Sofubi, and then back into X Plus, and then hardcore into Sofubi, and now I'm just kind of everywhere. But that's a quick 2-minute Wilhelm's take about how I am, why I am, that whole bit.
He liked designer stuff, and it never stopped.
Never stopped. Still doing it.
What's funny is I've for some reason feel like I'm going backwards.
Yeah, me too.
I love like that. I don't know. It like wasn't strange enough for me at the time, but now that I'm so used to a lot of kaiju characters and everything, that now I'm really into like the early 2000s, all that kind of stuff that was coming out.
This was my holy grail, like this piece. So I hear you.
Like he's flying past.
Yeah, like it's crazy.
Yeah,
I think I appreciate.
See, I got some Ultraman stuff out there, folks. It ain't much. But I also collect Alien YL.
That's really random. I feel
it is, and that's how I work. Oh, look, Starscream. Oh, and K9 from Doctor Who. But look, yes, the Nerve Beast. Oh, I love these. Oh,
those are cool, man.
Yeah.
We could all do the most epic show and tell ever. You know how cool that would be? Just like, hey, I have this, I have this, I have this, I have this. That'd be awesome. One day.
Yeah, I was collecting Sofubi as a kid and didn't even probably know it was Sofubi because
sure.
If you think about it, like these little designer these are kind of like designer figures because they're not show accurate. I don't think they're show accurate.
Yeah, that's why this one like blew my mind. I think
they're not Lightning Collection that's supposed to be show accurate. Like these are Sofubi, and I didn't know. Like it took me many years to have a term to describe things like this.
Right. I mean, dude, I collected Barnyard Commandos back in the day.
Barnyard Commandos.
I'm not going to go as far as to say this is Sofubi at all, right? But like, I mean, this isn't too crazy to put this next to something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it makes for an interesting display. So like, that's cool.
I think a lot of the reason why we gravitate towards the things we do is because we all have this this appreciation for the history behind it. Because I think there's a lot of like history and things behind these toys. Even the newer stuff that's supposed to look vintage, there's still that nod to the history. And I think that's why we love the things we love.
Of course. The films are always first, right? I mean, that's like what kickstarted all of this. So you always have to put that up, you know, and watch it
that's why some of the books to me are just like, I love the books so much because they just have those stills. Like you know, like, and that if you can get that in 3D form and make it like crazy colors and stuff, it's just really fun. Yeah,
like what's better than that, you know? Yeah. Random thought. I have never been to G-Fest. I'm hoping to correct that. I haven't either. ASAP. Oh, well, cool.
It's fine. I've not either. Like
Andy, you've never been?
Hold on, I feel like there's to go, and I do want to go. It's just that, you know.
Hey man, let's go to G-Fest.
Sure.
Let's make this a thing.
I always say, put me on a panel. And everyone goes, what an asshole. And I go, yeah, well, you should put me on a panel and pay me, and then I'll go. Not that I want to be paid to go. Right. I will enjoy it. But it's just, that would just make it so much easier to explain.
Be more of a thing, yeah.
There was a whole year was about Hedora, and no one told me, and I was like, oh, brother. And no one wanted to tell me this.
Shame.
I will go eventually, but you know, I feel like I'm a nerd who has never been to convention. I've tried to hide my nerdity from everyone except myself for my entire life. So it's like not hiding per se, but just like, this is my business. I don't really need to talk to you about it. So I was into comics. I went once to a comic book convention to get Mark Verheiden to sign my Aliens comics. And then I walked around.
It was your thing. Like it's always just, it's your thing, you know?
Yeah. I want to go, and I will go, and I know I will. And I know it'll be great.
We're going this year.
Put me on a panel. Put me on a panel.
Yeah,
we're going this year.
What would you even talk about, Andy?
I could talk about anything as long as you want.
Yeah.
Hell, I could have done this whole thing for 4 hours.
The Andy and Ryan panel about God knows what.
Just title it "God Knows What" with Ryan and Andy.
2022.
Blathering to enjoy our voices spake.
Yeah. 2 idiots that don't stop talking. Come see them.
And some dildo who keeps talking about glitter blanks.
Bring the kids. Yeah.
Yep, that guy.
Speaking of can't stop talking, we're almost at 2 hours, so we probably should land. We probably should land the plane at some point.
That's a good point. Let's land that plane.
Hey, everybody, have you heard the news? Sofubi is dope, and buy it now.
Hey, buy Sofubi.
Buy it more than you've ever bought before. Your children don't really matter. Your wife, your husband, they might not agree. Just do it anyway, my friend.
Buy it and then say you're sorry later. Buy it and say you're sorry later. Buy it and say you're sorry later.
Buy it and never, ever say you're sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was good. That was good.
That was good. Oh, Jay's gonna get such a kick out of this recording.
That reminds me.
Bootleg.
That reminds me, though, real quick. What do you say, Jay? Oh, wait. He can edit it. Which reminds me. What are your thoughts, Jay?
Hey, Jay. Can I give a shout out real quick? Ryan Dole, what's up? Jacob Walsh, who is normally doing this show with Jay Key, what's up? Craig and Abby, what's up? Thank you guys for having the YHS network for us to be able to do this. This is super cool. Yeah. Super flattered. You guys have been great. This has been super fun.
I have the rest of my Ghostbusters quotes, and I'll do them.
Hit him, brother.
Go. Shotgun him.
What are you, some kind of a cosmonaut? It's Miller time.
It's Miller time.
Real Wrath of God type shit. And finally, are you Alice?
Are you?
You'll know what I mean.
So do we want to do shameless plugs before we get out of here?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Hold on, let me get it out of my hat. Oh, wait. Oh, jeez. Oh,
I was gonna say, what does that even mean?
dear. Oh, I really read that wrong.
Oh man. So I guess I'll go first. I'm Michael. I run a podcast called Kaiju Weekly with my co-host Travis. We publish weekly on Wednesdays. We just talk about movies and giant monster media. We have fun doing it. I'm the co-creator of Kaiju Ramen magazine. It's a pretty cool magazine. It's the G-Fan alternative. You can go look that up at kaijuramenmagazine.com.
The G-Fan alternative.
The G-Fan alternative. Yes.
I'm trying to come up with one word for it. G-Fan alternative.
Thank you, Andy.
Right. It didn't save any time.
Yeah. Issue 4 will be out soon. Issue 3 is currently still available, so go pick that up. Outside of that, I'm just hanging around some of these groups, talking to these fine people, and enjoying toys, adult toys.
I'll go real quick. So I'm Brian Wilhelm. I work at Dallas Vintage Toys. Be sure to check out the shop on Facebook, Instagram. You know the jam, DallasVintageToys.com. Also on Facebook, I have a Super 7 collectors group. Be sure to swing by and talk nerdy stuff. Godzilla is coming to Super 7 in like a month. They're going to announce a whole bunch of really cool stuff. Ultimates are coming. We've already got some reaction stuff. They're doing.
Do we know what characters are coming in the Ultimates?
Don't tell us.
I do. They're doing a Shogun. They're doing a Shogun Mecha Godzilla.
Related.
There's some cool stuff coming, man. I'm super stoked. It's been great talking to all of you guys. Yeah, let's keep kicking it in the future, collecting cool stuff, making this community grow, right? That's the most important thing. So
yeah, for sure.
Mazel tov,
Lou?
Yeah, so I'm Lou. I have a clothing line I've been working on for a really long time, on a slight hiatus on it, just moving my studio, getting that set back up. The clothing line is called Monster Lou. It's on Instagram at monster_Lou. It's like everyday wear, fun stuff, really into Japanese streetwear. So I get a lot of inspiration from that. You can find my personal page on Instagram at Louie Munster. And sometimes I post some stuff of my collection. Sometimes I don't. I don't know. It just depends on how you see it, I guess. So
those cool dinosaur pictures, really, those are just amazing. The ones were in the desert dinosaur. Every time I go by, I go,
yeah, that was really
fantastic.
The dinosaurs from Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the world's greatest movie.
Awesome.
Sorry, Kaiju Godzilla people, even though I should have a million Pee-wee Hermans. I don't.
I've got Pee-wee Herman reactions. Those are dope.
They're beautiful.
I am Pee-wee Herman.
I believe it. I've seen it.
Where can we find you, Andy? You don't have
Andy.
your own show for some weird ass reason.
Dude, I would be Andy.
I would watch every day.
One of my greatest joys is watching everyone drown in my wasted potential. Put a bag over your head and feel the horror of the lack of content seethe through your body and burn your skin alive.
If I'm being honest,
isn't it better than a show? Anyway, I'm Smoglord here at Instagram. I mean, if people keep it, asking me to do crap like this, I might do more crap like this. I have a little Im album over there, by the way. I just wanted to mention that. I can prove it. No, I won't. Anyway, also the Hedora Fanatics Club is also the greatest club on Facebook ever. Thank you. Yes, I mean, we are the most loving, kind, collective, artist forward focused group in Facebook. Unfortunately, we only talk about Hedora. Literally just that.
Just trash.
We have a good time.
Your Kit Builders Club, Diorama Club, because I do dioramas. I don't really do much with that anymore. It's been taken over. But you can find me anywhere except for where you want me to be, in your face every week.
And hopefully we change that sooner than later.
Yeah, keep inviting me to this crap. I'll get warmed up. Shit.
Yeah.
I almost got a mic.
Next time we're going to do it.
And also, I have one more Ghostbusters clip.
Yes.
You got my cheese whiz, boy?
夢だけを心に抱きしめて土砂降りの雨の中汚れたままでさまようああ思い出なら綺麗に壊れて涙を抱きしめてまどろみに消えてゆく記憶の空を見上げるもう届かない想いを散りばめながら All I need your light 激しい雨の後で笑ってよ濡れた心が引き裂かれる前に Can't you tell me now 涙を止めて今語ってよ飾り続けた孤独の悲しみを Can't you tell me苛立ちに途切れた永遠に溺れてみても耐えきれない孤独だけが体を突き刺して激しい雨の中で歌ってよ時の流れに引き裂かれた愛を Can't you stop darling 涙に濡れたバラを咲かせてよ終わらない夜に感じた悲しみを忘れて昨日までの涙を抱きしめて真夜中の傷跡に生まれた意味問いかけるもう届かない想いを夢に濡らしてAll I need your light 激しい雨の後で笑ってよ濡れた心が引き裂かれる前に Can't you tell me now 涙を止めて今語ってよ飾り続けた孤独の悲しみを All I need your light 降り注ぐ雨に 傷つけ合ったけど Can't you tell me now 涙を止めて今語ってよ飾り続けた孤独の悲しみを All I need your life